Hi friends, lot of news is coming about Zoom, the video conferencing app. So yesterday, Indian government has said that it is not very safe from security point of view, and therefore said no government agency should be using it for video conferencing. And Nancy Pelosi, the US House of Representatives Speaker, Democrat, said it is not safe. Today she has said it is a Chinese company and all that. Not only Trump, it seems everybody in US, all the top political leaders are gone berserk, it seems. It is not a Chinese company, it is an American company incorporated in US in Delaware in 2011, and head office is in San Jose, California. I'm not sure San Jose or Santa Clara, but somewhere in Silicon Valley, so in California. Its CEO, the man who founded it. You cannot call it owner because it's now a public company. So there's no owner as such there. The man who CEO, the man founder and plus CEO, Mr. Eric Yuan, is an American citizen. He came to US. He was born in China. He did his engineering and masters in China. Then worked for 4 5 years in Japan. Then in 97 he migrated to US. He was working with Cisco, one of the very famous networking companies, and later in 2011 he became, in the due course of time, in 97 he came to US more than 23 years back. Then he got green card, then he became US citizen. And when he started his own company in 2011, he was, by the time, he was definitely a US citizen. So he's in, and all the shares are owned by, it is listed in NYSE, and it is, all shares are owned only by Americans. It's an Pakka 100% American owned company, and it incorporated and head office in, yes. Yes, there is software development centers, or some of them are in China. Around 700 people work in China. But that's true for many of the American companies also. Many of their software development centers are in India, in Bangalore. Does it make them un-American and make them Indian companies? No, definitely not. So it is definitely the rumor mongering, fear mongering. The rumor mills are working overtime, the conspiracy theories, and all those stuff. Anyway, today I want to focus more on the security related aspects. People say that, privacy and security issues are being compromised when you use Zoom. Zoom is very easy to use. You can, even I have downloaded it in my mobile. My kids are using it daily because their school classes are being done by through Zoom. Because for free, up to 100 people can participate in the video conferencing, and each session can last for up to 40 minutes. It's for completely for free. So that is the thing. It's easy to install, and it easy to use also, and two-way communication is possible. You can ask questions. You can, board meetings are being conducted through Zoom. You don't have to install any other thing extra for utilizing all the services offered in Zoom. That's the reason why it became very popular. In fact, because of the lockdown, most of the educational institutions and board meetings, even cabinet meetings, Boris Johnson tweeted before he was taken to hospital. They conducted video in the cabinet meeting through video conferencing. He posted a tweet also with that. With the ID was also mentioned there. His own ID in the Zoom conference was also there in the tweet when you see the pic. Similarly, India also, Mr. Rajnath Singh posted a picture, the senior minister, when he conducted a meeting with his ministry officials. That also was done in Zoom because that was visible in the tweet. And Indian Prime Minister Mr. Modi has also conducted a cabinet meeting on April 6th through video conferencing, and later an all-party meeting was also done. Later, video conferencing with CMs was also done last week. I think all of them were done. Presumably, I don't know that. I think that is Zoom was only used for all these meetings, etc. So whether it is safe or not to use is a big question mark, because certain India's the computer agency has said that we need to follow some precautions, in using Zoom. Of course, it was first done in New York. New York city state said that there are safety issues and asked education institutions not to use this for conducting classes, virtual online classes to other students. Later, Taiwan did that last week, and then Singapore did that again last week. But Singapore yesterday has removed the ban on educational institutions using Zoom, but still the ban on commercial organizations and governmental organizations to use still continues, but not for educational organizations. So what is the issue about it? So see, regarding this, Eric Wan has published a video last week. He said that yes, there are some security issues about that, and we are trying to fix it. And all our engineering team will be now focused only upon that, and we'll freeze that. And within 90 days, we'll find out the solutions for most of the issues which have been raised in the media right now. So what are the issues which are being raised right now? So one is when you install it, the app get access to acts as a root a user in your computer, in whatever device you are using it, and therefore it is possible for it to install any other app also without you knowing it, and it can use the camera and microphone in your device also. So that one thing, without you knowing, it accesses it operates as a root administrator in your device. That is one thing. Second, but the most of the thing is about it's when you use it, when you are in a meeting, all the data goes to Facebook. That's also they say, even though you're not logged in using your Facebook account, still the data goes to Facebook. But Facebook again is an American company, is nothing to do with China. Third and foremost issue which has come a lot in the media is about encryption. Encryption, they claim that it is a 256 key encryption, which is the best encryption and the best available so far. But some experts say that it is not. That is 256 key encryption is used all in your bank transactions, etc. So it is supposed to be very safe. Even for a supercomputer, it takes quite a bit of time, couple of days, 3 days to break that encryption. It can be broken, but it takes time. So, but experts say that though it claims, Zoom claims that it uses 256 key encryption, in reality it uses only 128 key encryption. So it is quite easy for people to break in, hackers to break in and steal the data. Okay, that is possible. Second issue is about the encryption itself. The Zoom claims that it is an end-to-end encryption. Your Telegram app uses end-to-end encryption, that is to be supposed to be very safe. It is not possible for even security agencies or hackers to break in. Experienced hackers using with supercomputers also. So, but it is not so that way, because the simple fact is, what is meaning of the end seems to be very different. End-to-end encryption they claim, but they say that it is no end-to-end encryption. There is only transport encryption is being. It is said that it is not end-to-end encryption, and they use only transport encryption. But it's all about semantics. What is the meaning of the word end? According to you and me, end to end means between you and me. If we are communicating through Zoom or any other app, according to them, it is end means from their server. Seems to be a difference there. Yeah. So if it is like Telegram, the encryption code is generated in your mobile, in your device itself. So even the app developers cannot decrypt it. Same thing was in WhatsApp also. Whereas in this case, to your device, to the host who's starting the video conferencing through Zoom, the key is generated, the encryption key is generated by key management system, which is special types of servers, and then it is transported to your device through a standard thing called TLS, transport layer security. So even HTTPS also uses it, so there's no problem about it. But the issue is key encryption system, the special type of servers are there which generate it and send it to all the people who are sharing the same video conferencing at the simultaneously it shares. So some of the 5 out of 73 key management function servers are located in China. So in sometimes when even when there is nobody from China is participating in that meeting, still some Chinese servers might have been involved in the generation of key. So if they know, then Chinese government may access that key. For example, Boris Johnson or Mr. Narendra Modi is conducting a cabinet meeting in India. For that, a key is generated from this server which is based in China. Not necessarily, because only 5 out of the 73 are based in China. For an argument's sake, I am saying, if it is generated, then Chinese government knows that key and they can get into the meeting and get the data. Even if you get the data, it means this is jumbled. It doesn't mean anything if you don't have the key to decrypt it. But if you know the key, then you can easily decrypt it and you get all the information. That's why it's a security issue. So sometimes this key is also sent to the some of the connecting servers also. So there is also one security issue involved in that. But a major problem, what experts of security experts have found out, cyber security experts have found out is, if the meeting is only in India or in Europe, some country in Europe, there are connection points. The meeting has to go through various servers, the data, the video. So if certain points, connection points are busy in Europe, then it has to find out an alternative path so that the stream goes on live. So sometimes it goes through some other country where the traffic is low. It is something like if you want to go from Connaught Place in Delhi to, let's say, South X in Delhi. There are many paths to go through it. There are many roads. The shortest road, you know it. But if that road is having too much of traffic and it takes time, then you take some other path to go through it. It is like that. So even if all the participants are in India, the traffic is very heavy in India, it may go through some other place. It could be China. So some of the meetings, in fact, Eric Yuan has admitted that mistakenly some traffic has been routed through Chinese servers, and but they are not said which meeting and how many people are involved in that. All those details are they are not yet given that. So there is a security issues about that, no doubt about that. I have elaborately discussed the various security issues involved with that, and they said that within 90 days we will set it all right. The problem is previously nobody knows about Zoom. And now, because of the lockdown and all those things, educational institutions, governments, corporates, everybody is now using Zoom, because it is there are other similar sites are also available, but they are cumbersome, and this is the easiest one, very user friendly. That's the reason why Zoom has acquired so much of popularity now. For example, by end of December, only hardly 10 million people are using Zoom daily. Now, by end of March, 200 million people have been using, and now probably 400 million might be using. And Zoom, which has started as a startup, is now till February end, it has $40 billion. Now probably it may be much more than that, as many people are downloading that in one single day. Almost every day more than 3 lakh 4 lakh people are downloading Zoom. Whether it is security issues, yes, there are security issues as I have elaborated upon that, like encryption and the way the traffic is routed through the servers and all those things, etc. But Zoom has never said that the government should start using it or corporates should use it for their board meetings and all. It is not meant for that at all. So it is no conspiracy at all in this thing. It is meant for a free, cool. It's of course, some people say that it is a proprietary software. We don't know what that software contains. Some American experts have said, yeah, it is supposed to be a proprietary. It's not like Unix where it is open, and it's not open source software. It is a proprietary software naturally. So that could be. It is pretty safe for you and me. You can use it. Yes, but it is foolish, utterly foolish for government people like Boris Johnson or Mr. Modi, likely to have used all this in the cabinet meeting, or definitely Rajnath Singh used it to use this. So you cannot just like that go to any open platform which is available in the market and use it for top security meetings. That is rubbish. Sounds rubbish to me. right? So then you can't blame the company for that. They have never claimed that it is meant for that purpose. It is not meant for that purpose. It is a cool chat room kind of a thing there, you can't use Skype for all this, right? So for top security meetings and all that things. So I would rather blame the people who have used Zoom, and yes, it is problematic. Some issues are involved in that. I think it's true for anything. If hackers want, they can hack anything. Basically, they want it there. Certain has said, for people, education institutions, they have to follow some precautions. For example, the host should not allow everybody to join. That's a future. You have to use certain future that only the host can give permission for people to come in. Then lock the room. Don't allow anybody once the meeting starts. And then once the meeting is over, end it. There's an end function. Click it. Don't just leave. Everybody leaves. Just not that. That you have to. The host should end it basically. So basic some precautions are to be taken. Yes. Some issues are come up like Zoom bombing. So some unknown people barging into the room and then obscene things they say and post some obscene videos and all those things have also come. See, this kind of people always are there. Though we can't stop them from doing that. But we can take enough precautions like not allowing any unknown person from joining the meeting. And we normally don't use that safety procedures which are inherent inbuilt in Zoom. Don't allow everybody. Put that option that only the host has to give permission for any person to come. Put a waiting room. Don't allow everybody to just like that come. They'll be in the waiting room only when that notification will come to the host and the host says that okay, I allow this person, I know this person, so therefore I will also allow this person to participate in this thing. So you don't take enough basic precautions there. So that you take it. Definitely it is not meant for government meetings or corporate honchos meeting, etc. Please avoid that. So you have to buy. It is an open software, man. It's a free software. So what do you expect from a free software there? So buy some proprietary software which includes all the features, which you definitely includes end-to-end encryption and all that. So take care. That I think is responsibility is there for the user, right? Instead of blaming the company for that. I think so. Anyway, thanks. Bye. Take care.